In this video, I'm going to teach you how to date the hottest girls in 3 steps. And first of all, I'll start out by saying that yes, it is possible for you or anyone to do this. It might seem impossible, but it's just like learning any other skill, where if you're just starting out, then you can look at people who have been practicing for many years, and it seems impossible that you would ever be able to do that. But if you just start out and persistently practice at it over time, then maybe you're not necessarily going to make it to like Olympic levels, but you can definitely advance way beyond what you can do now and way beyond what most others can do as well. So I'm not going to try and sell you like some sort of magic pill and tell you that it's easy, because it's not, but it is something that you can work your way up to over time. For me personally, I started out completely sucking and slowly worked my way up to dating models and very beautiful girls in different countries all over the world. So what I'm going to teach you in this video is based off my own personal experience. That being said, you don't need to concern yourself with necessarily dating like the hottest girls in the world. It's more about being able to meet and date the kind of girls that you are most attracted to, as well as the ability to improve both your skills and your confidence with women and to be able to date hotter girls over time. So the first step is to find the hottest girls. Again, I'm going to go off my own personal experience. So for example, it is possible to find the hottest girls on like Instagram. And if you build up a big Instagram following, then maybe that could work for you. But that's not something that I do. And really, it's a lot easier and more accessible to anyone to do it my way, which is to go to the city center of any major city. And you'll find really hot girls just walking around and shopping and coming and going from work and stuff like that. So step 1 is very simple. Just go to the city center of any major city. But then step 2 is how to actually approach them and start a conversation. I remember when I first started trying to do this years ago in China, this was a big problem for me, because especially in China, the absolute best place to find hot girls is on the streets, but I had no idea how to actually approach. For example, if you try to stop someone when they're walking past you, you just seem like some sort of salesperson, or like you want to get something out of them, and it tends to cause an instant negative reaction. So after doing a bunch of research, I finally found out the best way, which is what I still do to this day, and it's how I pretty much always meet girls. So basically what I do is, if I see a hot girl, I'll let her walk past me, or depending on where she is in the first place, I basically want to come from behind. So I just run from behind to catch up to her and then circle around in front of her and ease her to a stop. This can be absolutely terrifying, especially in the beginning, but if you get the hang of it, you can do it very smoothly and naturally, and it works extremely well. It's absolutely 100% the best and most consistent way to approach girls on the streets. But then after you stop her, you actually need to talk to her and start a conversation. I actually already made a full video on that, so rather than go over all that again, if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description so you can check it out after. But just to give the very short version, basically you want to give her a compliment and tell her you wanted to come say hi, and then ask her a question based on an assumption that you make about her, and then feed off of whatever her response is, and then just keep plowing through until something clicks and things start to flow more naturally. And if you're able to do that, then you'll be able to start conversations very consistently. So far, it's very simple. Like if you are able to do step 1 and 2, then you already have the ability to meet very attractive girls. But obviously, it's easier said than done. So that's where step 3 comes in, which is to actually practice and get good at this and take it to further and further levels. So in the beginning, especially if you've never tried this before, you're probably just going to be like terrified, and things probably aren't going to go very well. But at a certain point, once you start to acclimatize to the pressure, then you'll be able to maintain your initial energy without being shut down by the fear and the pressure, and you'll start to get the feel for evoking a positive reaction, like giving her a compliment and making her smile. But then maybe you won't be able to get much beyond that until you get more practice and you can consistently have like a brief 1-minute conversation. But then maybe like you're still too nervous and the connection is too superficial and it's difficult for you to think of things to talk about. So you can't really get much beyond like about 1 minute. But with continued practice, you'll be able to calm down your energy and have longer and deeper conversations and a deeper connection and start going on instant dates, like continue the conversation over coffee and start getting phone numbers and setting up dates and just keep going further. And also over time, you can approach and meet hotter and more intimidating girls, kind of like if you go to the gym and lift heavier and heavier weights. So just like we talked about earlier in this video, it's just like getting good at any other skill. Like if you want to run a marathon, for example, it's something that you work your way up to over time. Like maybe the first time that you go running, you'll only be able to make it like 400 meters, but that's not something to be discouraged about. That's just where you're at, like this starting point, and you can keep training and getting better from there until eventually you can run the whole marathon. So meeting girls and dating and also building confidence in general works in the same way. So basically, if you just follow these 3 steps and persist with your training, and especially if you're really serious and you push yourself, then over time, you'll be able to date very attractive girls. And this definitely does work. Like you don't need to spend like 10 years of your life getting rich and building up an Instagram following before you can meet hot girls. You can literally just go out right now and go do it. And again, that doesn't mean that it's easy, but it's something that if you want, then you can start working at it right now. Just to give an example, I dated someone a little while ago who is a fashion model, and she normally dates guys who are either super rich or famous or like professional athletes and stuff like that. And then me. And it turns out that I was the first guy that she ever slept with who approached her on the street. And at the time, I was completely broke and I don't even use social media. And I was very open and told her all that. Like it really doesn't matter at all. As long as you have the confidence and the ability to do everything that we just talked about in this video. So in other words, if you can do this, then you can automatically bypass all the competition and put yourself right smack in front of her, where your success depends completely on your own innate skills and confidence that you build up inside of yourself. In my opinion, this is one of the greatest skills that you could possibly learn. And this also goes much deeper than just dating hot girls. Like you're facing fears, you're overcoming weaknesses, and it can even become like an epic journey that can completely change your entire life. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say about this for now. If you want to check out that video that I mentioned earlier about how to start a conversation, it should pop up on the screen right now, or just click the first video in the description. And other than that, I will talk to you in the next video.